Good morning once again and welcome to this segment of the program. This day, 24th day of February 2021, makes it exactly 11 years since I started this segment. And I want to thank you for being with me all these years and for sending your feedback, your support. We are very grateful, and profound thanks to the management and staff of Independent Television. Thank you for the unalloyed support. Profound thanks for your unalloyed support. And, it has been an issue of teamwork, both by humble self and the management and staff of Independent Television. And talking about teamwork, teamwork has been the conversation that we have been having since the year began. Teamwork has been the conversation. And in this very all-important subject of teamwork, today we are going to be zeroing on how team members, how team leaders set up their teams to fail. How some team leaders set up their teams to fail. In other words, there are team leaders out there who are contributing to their team failure without knowing. And some of them may even know, and they don't seem to care. So today we are going to be discussing how team leaders set up their team to fail. Because if you look at it critically, the performance failure of some teams is not always the fault of the team members. There are team leaders out there who are using their leadership style, their approach, to leading the team, to setting up the team for failure. And it's very important we look at it so that we can see how it can be avoided. This is just so important. And one, approach that some leaders use in setting up their team to fail or contributing to team failure is by being disrespectful to their team members. By being disrespectful to their team members. Now, disrespect here is not talking about you, probably sanctioning a team member for misbehavior. No, this is an issue of you treating the team member in a below human manner. This is a very serious issue in team dynamics, in group dynamics, whereby you see a situation whereby some team leaders treat their team members in a below human manner. That kind of approach will kill the self-esteem of the team member. It will just break down the confidence of the team member. It will break down the self-belief of that particular team member. And the dangerous side of it is that when team members that have low self-esteem, when team members that have poor self-confidence, when team members that have poor self-belief are attending to customers, something is going to be lacking in that customer, interaction equation. And that thing that is going to be lacking is customer service. Customer care will be lacking in that customer interaction equation. Customer care is going to be lacking. And if customer service is lacking in the team members or staff interaction with the customer, the outcome is going to be that if the customer finds a better alternative, that customer will likely not come back to patronize you. It means that from the genesis, from with your leadership approach, you have just contributed to losing a customer. You have contributed to team failure. So you have to do everything possible to see that this disrespectful disposition, that is exhibited by some leaders is avoided. Remember what I said. This is different from you sanctioning a team member because of a particular misbehavior. This is an issue of treating the team member in a below human manner. And at the end of the day, this affects the morale, the motivation, the dedication of the team member to the job. And at the end of the day, it is you, the team leader, that will lose out. Sometimes we see situations whereby, as a team leader, you are holding a team meeting and you want ideas to be contributed on that particular team issues that is being attended to. And from a particular team member raises up his hand to make a suggestion. And that suggestion, if you are to define it the way it is very unreasonable. In other words, it doesn't make any sense. Now, a team member may contribute an idea or a suggestion that doesn't make sense or that sounds unreasonable, but your response to that should not be unreasonable. You shouldn't respond in a way or in a manner that will deflate the team members, motivation to the team. You should not respond in a way that will make the team member to go into his shell or her shell. Tomorrow, that particular team member that made that, in quote, unreasonable suggestion may have an astounding or amazing idea that will take the team to the next level. But because of the way you responded when he or she made an idea that was not relevant as at that time, now the team member has an amazing suggestion or has an amazing idea or a super idea that could transform the team member now keeps it to himself. She keeps it to herself. And who is losing? You, the team leader, you are the one losing. Now, listen closely. Your team members are your leverage. And if as a result of your leadership style or your leadership approach, these people start shutting down, start going into their shell, and they no longer make idea contribution or suggestions for on-team issues or organizational issues, you are the one that is losing. You are losing your leverage. Your people are your leverage. As a leader, you don't know it all. A team is a group of interdependent expertise, and you don't have all the expertise, and you need to see that, you have that leadership approach that will ensure that your people, are very, very open to continuously making ideas. So somebody may make an idea or make a suggestion that, seems not to make sense, but your response to it should be in a manner or in a way that tomorrow they will still have that self-confidence, that assurance to still make idea contribution on future team issues. This is just so important. And when it comes to respecting people, listen to this. You don't respect people or respect team members because of the kind of family they hail from. You don't necessarily respect people because of their academic qualifications or certifications. You don't respect people because they look cute, they look good, or necessarily because of the way they dress. No. You respect people for being human beings. You make sure that you help your team members to maintain their human dignity while you interact or interface with them. I've seen situations to my very eyes going into a particular business place to, buy their product, and you just hear the MD, the CEO of that organization calling the staff, "You will be thief. You are a thief. You stole this," in the presence of the customers. Now, place yourself in that position of that staff. What will happen to your psychology? What will happen to your emotion? What will happen to your self-confidence? What will happen, to your self-esteem? A situation whereby in the presence of customers, an MD, a CEO, or a manager is publicly reprimanding a staff. That does not help teamwork. That deflates, self-confidence, self-esteem, and at the end of the day, you will not be happy in your business, you will not be happy in your organization. So the approach needs to be changed. That's why I said you treat people, you help them to maintain their human dignity. You help them to maintain their self-esteem, because it is this same staff at the end of the day that will help you to, that are your channels to reaching out to your customers. If you have ever succeeded in anything you do, if you have ever achieved success, it is because your team members, your staff, your employees, they worked with you. And it is very important you treat them with respect in order for you to always have their unending support. That is just so critical. Then, another approach that some leaders kind of engage that make them to contribute to performance failure of their team is by micromanaging team members. Micromanaging team members. This is a situation whereby because haven't given them tasks or responsibility to execute, you just close them in with this unhealthy supervision. You close them in with this unhealthy supervision. You do not give them breathing space for them to have that freedom to carry out the task. You just want them to always touch base with you for every step, every decision. And at the end of the day, you are not helping them to build self-confidence. And because you are always micromanaging them, bringing this unhealthy supervision around them, you are not helping them with their self-confidence. You are not helping them with their self-esteem. It will even make them to be making repeated mistakes. You are communicating to them that I don't trust your capacity, I don't believe in you. No, there is a time for you to mentor people. There is a time for you to coach people. And when you are through, you step back, let them play the ball. That is how it works. The coach of a football team doesn't join the players to play the ball in the field. After he has mentored them, he has coached them, he has given them strategies and all that, he released them into the field, he stepped aside and is watching them. And if there is a need for any instruction to be passed across, he just signals them, he passes the instruction, and he's watching. He doesn't join them to play the ball. So you should engage the same team strategy in driving your team. You need to avoid unnecessary, unhealthy supervision. You need to avoid micromanaging. This is just so important. And as I begin to conclude this Monday, the last point I will look at on this day, 24th of February 2021, my 11 years on this segment, I'm looking at the issue of teamwork, my 11th year on this segment. So the approach some leaders also engage to contribute to team failure or set up their teams to fail is through bias conflict resolution. Bias conflict resolution. Team member A and team member B are having issues, and they brought the issue before you to resolve. They're having conflict, between them, and you are the team leader. They brought the issue for you to resolve. And because of your affinity with the offender, because of your, maybe a particular favor or some things, you have to do with the offender, some favor you enjoy, because of your affinity with the offender, you now judge the matter against the offended. That's bias conflict resolution amongst team members. You now judge the matter against the offended. It is obvious you know the offended, you know the offender. But because you have an affinity with the offender, because you have, an attachment with the offender, or because there is a favor you enjoy from the offender, you judge that issue, you judge the matter against the offended. Now, this is not just an issue of it happened by mistake. This is what they have noticed that you do anytime a particular team member have an issue with an offender that you have, an affinity with, or that you take as your favorite team member or your favorite child. Now, this, at the end of the day, on the long run, is going to destroy the team. You must make sure you avoid this bias conflict resolution, a situation whereby you judge an issue between team members against the offended, and then your offender, goes as a winner, or you judge it in favor of the offender. This will not drive team effectiveness. This will kill the organization. This will collapse the entire team and the system, and it must be avoided. I strongly believe that lots of value have been added to you today, and I know you want to reach me, and that is why my phone numbers have been on the screen. Call the MTN is 080-6686-5060. I take it again, 080-6686-5060. The Glow line is equally there. It's 080-529-29120. Just one more time, 080-529-29120. I'll be seeing you next week Wednesday. When I return, I will remain the amiable. Inuagata no Sahai. Your day is so blessed. Thank you.